Hello, everyone. Well, we are going to be talking about how Ayurveda and therapeutic yoga can help all of us in management of medical ailments. I mean, we are all witness to what is happening in COVID-19, and there's no harm in learning, right, about how Ayurveda and yoga can help. And we have a very special guest today, Dr. Aparna Padmanabhan. She is one of the few Ayurvedic doctors in the world, right, who has PhD in Ayurveda, and she comes from a family of Ayurveda, fourth generation family of Ayurveda. She has won so many awards. She is an educator, a practitioner, a researcher. So she's going to lead the session today, and I am super excited to introduce Dr. Aparna here. Welcome, Dr. Aparna.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for this opportunity, Amitaji. So I'll be talking about how Ayurveda and yoga is helping in dealing with chronic diseases, and how it is actually a modality of treatment in par with the Western medicine. So, we have always seen that last couple of decades witnessed the evolution of Western science from chemicals to holistic wellness. 20 years ago, nobody was talking about holistic wellness, and they were like looked down, and nobody used to be bothered about self-care and holistic wellness, and everything was based on chemicals, drugs, and surgery. So, medicine revolved around drugs and surgery, and all the alternative medicines were kept aside. But now, the new medicine, or the medicine of today, is all about talking all about holistic care and self-care, and how drugs and surgery is only in the superficial part or peripheral part, and why we need to take care of ourselves in a holistic and why we should be bothered about stimulating our self-healing capacity has taken a front seat. So, I'm very happy that Ayurveda and yoga is the pioneer medicine in holistic wellness. We have we have Chinese medicine, homeopathy, chiropractic, hydrotherapy, a lot of medicines, but yoga and Ayurveda dates back to thousands of years ago, and they are the pioneers in healing. So literally, the mind body medicine concept which we are hearing in today's world was chalked down by the ancient sages of India 5000 years ago. And literally, they are sister sciences, and they complement very each other, and it's a very personalized and person centric medicine. And and Ayurveda and yoga always believe in harmony. The mind, body, senses, soul, and intellect, they all need to be in harmony to call ourselves healthy. So always people come to me telling that I have I'm obese, or I need to lose weight. But I always say, see, it's not just about the body, it's also always also about the state of your mind, and how your senses is, and how your intellect is. So we can call yourself healthy only if your mind is not anxious or depressed. So just losing few kilos is not just important, but also how the quality of your mind is, all how the state of your mind is, that is also very much important in today's world. And also, when we come to the senses, feverishness free senses is also very important. So often we are so much attached to things that, okay, I cannot leave, or I cannot get up without a cup of coffee, and we are so much addicted to coffee, and when we miss the coffee, we get coffee karma, right? So this is how we are so much attached to our senses. And intellect, when we come to the intellect, many of us don't have the clarity on what is good for me, or what is that I want to do with my life. So this clarity of intellect is also very important. So it's not just the size zero figure or six pack body which is important, but the state of mind, peaceful state of mind, and feverishness free senses, and very clear intellect. All this is what Ayurveda and yoga highlights about healthy mind. And this harmony is what we call ourselves, what makes us healthy.
So I
So
wanted to add a little bit. I think that's really beautiful, and how Ayurveda and yoga have been propagating that, right? 5,000 years back, and we have now discovered, not literally discovered in a way, but have started incorporating it, right, in our daily lives. And the functional medicine is also the same thing. What that's talking about, it doesn't talk about Ayurveda, but it talks about the same principles, but they've coined it as a modern kind of a Western version of Ayurveda, I should say that. So tell us how we can incorporate Ayurveda and yoga in our daily life to make sure what you're talking about, the mind and the body, and mind body medicine. How can we do that?
So, Ayurveda and yoga is all about being predictable with yourself and being a little disciplined with ourselves, because our nervous system loves predictability and our nervous system loves this discipline. If we are not respecting our biological clock, we all have this biological clock in our body, and our brain works, or our body secretes certain hormones at certain time. Our liver is active from this time to this time. Our body produces cortisol during this time. So there is a clock which is going on in our body, and when we are not respecting this natural rhythm of the body, this is when the lifestyle disorders crept in. So this creeps in. So this lifestyle disorder itself means that your lifestyle is not good. That's why you are diseased, right? So Ayurveda and yoga always highlighted the importance of being predictable and being disciplined with ourselves. So nowadays, there is a lot of talk about self-care and self-indulgence, and we take self-care for self-indulgence. Oh, I need to go to a spa, or I need to have a Louis Vuitton purse or bag, and we mistake self-care with self-indulgence, but actually real self-care is all about self-discipline. The more you are taking care of yourself, your body and your mind, then you will be able to give your best to the world and yourself. So this is what Ayurveda and yoga says. So the body, mind, intellect, senses, all these different elements which makes us what we are, is nourished when we are indulging in Ayurvedic practices and yoga practices. So the first step is to be disciplined with our lifestyle. So Ayurveda has this beautiful techniques called dinacharya. Dinacharya is, dina means day and charya is lifestyle. So how to or simple practice on what to do in a day which can nourish you. So this small things which we can incorporate in our daily life by listening to the body, and by when to eat food and what to eat and what to look for when you are eating food. All these small principles, when we are able to adapt into our life, we become nourished, right? So we become, this is how we take care of ourselves. So this is how Ayurveda and yoga helps in taking care of ourselves in a very beautiful way.
No, I think it's beautiful, and also Ayurveda talks about cleanses, and I mean there's a concept of panchkarma. It's just all laid out so beautifully. So, but now all of us living in pandemic, what would be your suggestions that we can do? I mean, right now we are all doing self care and can't go for a panchkarma detox. So maybe just give us the framework, right? Simple, healthy, and then next cleanse and the panchkarma. I mean, how does this whole piece come together, and what can we do from an actionable point of view?
So the first thing is, for a beginner, the first thing should be about listening to your body, how your body is responding to different food you are taking. If I'm taking something very heavy, creamy and cheesy, and if I'm feeling bloated, and if I'm feeling heavy and not hungry for the next meal, that means whatever you have taken, your digestive fire is not strong enough to digest it. So the next time you take it, you have to be careful on not to indulge in it too much, right? And because you have taken it already, now we have to see how to fix it, how to help your body to digest it. So then we'll have to take couple of digestive teas and herbs and spices to help your body to digest, right? So listening to your body, our body is such a beautiful, it has such a beautiful intuition and awareness that it starts giving us signals. That's why, when you eat something which is not right, sometimes we get a tummy ache, or sometimes we get loose stools or diarrhea. And then still we say, some most of the times we say, oh, I always know that chickpea give me gassy tummy, but then I love chickpea, or I love my hummus, and then we always indulge in it again and again. So the real wisdom should be, or real intelligence should be, to have it once in a while in minimal quantity, and aid it with some digestive tea to help it, help it get settled in our body. So for a beginner, creating this awareness will be the best to start with.
Sure, sure. So, and Ayurveda talks about the dinacharya, right? As you said, and then also talks about ritucharya. So on a daily basis, it's saying have a regimen, and also according to the seasons, right? That we should do. So tell us a little bit about this concept.
So, see, each season has an impact on us. The macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm, the body, is so much connected, right?
Mhm.
So whenever there's a change in the season, our body will also change. That's why in winter we feel little gloomy, little lethargic, and we have good appetite, and we don't feel like, going out. And and the water and earth element increases in the winter, right? Outside, like the
Yeah.
snow, and the cold increases. So the same thing is happening in our body. That's why we should indulge in things which are opposite in quality. Like we
Mhm.
should have warm soups, and not too much heavy mushy yogurt and cheesy things, right? So if you are eating yogurt on a very wintry day, because yogurt is also called mushy, and like it is mucousy and water and earth rich element, and the winter is also having the same element. So the macrocosm and microcosm is indulging in the similar elements, and
Mhm.
you may end up having a nose block or sinus infection, or a throat pain, or cold or cough, right? And if it is summer means the sun is up, so the fire element is more in the macrocosm, the universe. And then I am indulging in lot of garlic, lot of chilies, and lot of heating spices, then it is cooking me up. Then I can have prickly heat boils and rashes. So it's just very common, very common sense which we can make. So when there is fire element rising in this universe, we should indulge in things which can cool the body down, not actually increase. So if we are able to get this correct, then you don't have to worry about lot of changes according to Ayurveda. Can I do this? Can just simple things, just observe the nature, how the nature is behaving, and then make that change.
So it's a very simple concept, right? If you think about it,
Yes.
and from a seasonal point of view, we don't really pay attention. We just indulge in whatever comes our way. Now, on the daily routine, right? Ayurveda has a beautiful way of daily routine and incorporating both Ayurveda and yoga. To your point, so tell us a little bit about the daily part also.
So the daily routine in Ayurveda is, when you should have a regular time, wake up time, preferably a little early in the morning, not too early, but
Yeah.
if you are waking up at by 6:30 to 7, make sure that you wake up in the same time. So on a Sunday, if you oversleep by, you wake up by 10 o'clock, or 11 o'clock, when we wake up, we see that we are more lethargic and more inactive. You feel like sleeping again, or sleeping more, right? So excess of sleep makes us lethargic. So it's very important to have this wake up in this time, so that the nature is calm, serene, and you get that vibrations within you, right? So wake up and clean your mouth, and go to your clean your bowels, and brush your teeth. And tongue cleaning is also very important, because whatever is digested, the metabolic waste get deposited on the tongue. So it's very important to clean our tongue on a daily basis, and have a um, clear tongue for helping, because the digestion starts in the mouth. It's very
Yes,
important to have a clean tongue. And tongue represents our the GIT, the
correct.
gastrointestinal tract. So it's very important to activate that. When you actually do the tongue cleansing, you're activating the internal organs, right? So this is also very important. And then oil swishing is something which is told in the classical textbooks. Swishing your mouth with a little bit of sesame oil or coconut oil, or if you have certain conditions, an Ayurvedic doctor will be able to prescribe you certain kinds of specific medicated oils which can fix the problem in your oral cavity. And then exercising, doing some kind of spiritual practices, yoga, meditation, taking a bath. So all these things will actually set a rhythm inside the body. The nature has a rhythm, and our body has a rhythm. So the more we are in tune with that, the more our hormone system, our nervous system will be relaxed and at ease. The more we are in a haphazard way of being unpredictable, the more stress will be there on the system. So the thyroid will start functioning, either too much or too low. So hypothyroidism can creep in, PCOS and different kinds of hormonal irregularities can creep in if you are not actually doing giving respect to the natural clock, biological clock.
Okay, so and there's a lot of research right behind it. What you are talking about, right? Yoga, even Ayurveda Dinacharya. There's a lot of research that talks about it. What else would you like to talk about? How we can incorporate Ayurveda and yoga?
One of the basic or most important things we often neglect is listening to our urges. I often get consultation patients complaining that I go to poop only once or twice a week, and that is not right according to Ayurveda. You have to poop every day. So this is a very basic thing we have to do. So suppressing our natural urges is a sin according to Ayurveda, right? So this is what we have to emotionally also, like when we are not expressing our tears, or our emotional garbage get accumulated, and then we get anxious, depressed and whatnot. All the psychological issues are coming up because we are not addressing our emotional garbage on a daily basis. So that is also very important. And just see, the nature has given us all these urges so that it should be addressed. You have to pee on time. It's because have a meeting, and you forgot to pee, then you can, there is a lot of chance that you end up having a frequent urinary tract infection, or a lot of things. And also, the most important thing I see one nowadays is women are postponing their menstruation, or they are on hormone pill because they don't want this menstruation to come in between their life. So I've seen girls taking contraceptive pill for 8 to 10 years, and then because I get acne, so I was on pill for this 10 years, and my gynecologist say it's okay. But a lot of endometriosis cases, fibroid cases, is because you are actually blocking a natural cleansing system which is happening
Mhm.
on a monthly basis. This is a monthly detox which is happening in the system, and we are coming, we are blocking it, and then it goes into other channels, and it can come as endometriosis, fibroids and whatnot. So most of these issues are there because we are not listening to our body and the signals of the body. So listening to the signals, the natural signals of the body, is very important. So this is one thing. And I would also like to talk a little bit about um, how Ayurveda and yoga is working. In a minute level, it strengthens the immune system. It's a very efficient detox system. When you do yoga, when you do pranayama, emotional garbage is letting out of the system, and also the physical garbage. You sweat and sweat, and you are removing the toxins through the sweat. We are also removing the toxins through our breath. You breathe out the carbon dioxide, which you don't need so much, and then you get a lot of oxygen to your system, and which is really helping in boosting your immunity, and optimal metabolic system, balanced regulatory system, and the regeneratory system is also getting enhanced, and it harmonizes the life force of prana, and it also helps in free radical scavenging, or it has a powerful antioxidant mechanism. So there are a lot of researchers supporting these studies, and we can see that Ayurveda and yoga are now backed well with this scientific studies. So this is what I would like to highlight on. And also we have this Ayurveda has this beautiful patya palana, dietary rules for a diseased person and a healthy person. For example, if I'm suffering from eczema is eczema means a lot of earth and water element and fire element is deranged in my system, and if I'm taking too much of spices, garlic and chilies, then my eczema can get worst, and or yogurt. Or if I have sinus infection and congestion, if I indulge in a lot of creamy, cheesy and yogurty food, then the mucus can get accumulated, and you have to I have to take care that I should not indulge in it more. So these are the rules of dietetic rules. So this is also very important to follow these rules and to understand these rules. If you're having this issue, we should not be doing that, and if you're having this issue, you should be doing this set of rules. So when you talk with an Ayurveda doctor, you will be able to find out what is the tailored diet and lifestyle which I can perform in my daily life, because Ayurveda is a very person centric and personalized medicine. So it is not that one size fits for all rule is not applicable in Ayurveda, because we are all different and we all have specific needs. So and also one more thing is that we have this powerful detoxification technique called panchakarma, and it has a wonderful and deep effect on metabolism level, immunity level, and it eliminates the free radical, which is a precursor for many diseases, and it is anti-stress, and it relaxes the mind, and it has effect on neuroendocrine level also. So this panchakarma is also a specialty of Ayurveda, and there are a lot of researchers coming on how Ayurveda is working on Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, bronchial asthma, allergic disorders, rheumatoid arthritis, LE cases, and a lot of metabolic. I have a lot of patients with SLE, rheumatoid arthritis, who were taking steroids, and now they could wean off the steroids, and they are, taking Ayurveda herbs and really feeling better with Panchakarma and herbs. And also, a lot of patients come to with me with ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, anxiety neurosis, sleep disorders, ADHD, and Ayurveda is giving wonderful results in healing these, this. Thing problems also. And some diseases are very superficial, right? Like cold and cough, it's a simple disease, right? So we can just fix it with simple herbs and spices. But some disease are a little deeper, so we need to fix it with some spice, herbs. Then we will have to make a tailored diet and lifestyle for them, right? And some like rheumatoid arthritis, where there is a deeper involvement of tissues and all, we will have to do certain treatments, or oil treatments, applying oil, and different kinds of poultice and massages and all. And along with that, spice, herbs, diet and lifestyle, and yogasanas, therapeutic yoga comes here, right? And then if it is chronic and deep, like Alzheimer's and MS, ALS and all, that is not curable but manageable. We can improve the quality of life, right? So in I have patients of MS, ALS and Parkinson's. So I tell that Ayurveda has classified certain diseases as manageable disease. I cannot heal you, I cannot cure you, but I can really make your life, this quality of life better. So my patients say that the brain fogging is not there, or I'm feeling more energy, and my tremors have come down, and these are the quality of life parameters which I see in my patients. Or I can arrest the progress of ALS with Ayurveda drugs and Panchakarma techniques. So this is how Ayurveda is benefiting. And coming to therapeutic yoga, there are, see, nowadays there is a lot of talk about physical benefits of yoga, and everybody want to start doing yoga, but it's very important to train under a teacher or a doctor, right? Because each body's needs is different. If I read somewhere that sun salutations or Surya Namaskaras have a lot of benefit, and if I start doing, and I have a sciatic problem, I have back pain, and if I am doing a lot of forward bends and a lot of sun salutations 3 or 4 times, or 10 rounds, then definitely in a week I'm going to be on my bed, because of I have a crampy back or a sprained back. So it is very important. Yoga which is done under the guidance of a teacher or a doctor who is an expert in that field is called as therapeutic yoga. So see, and these practices are considered after seeing the emotional and physical maturity of the person, right? Some certain meditations and pranayama cannot be practiced by everyone, right? There is certain do's and don'ts. So it's very important to go to an expert. And if we are in menopause, if a woman is in menopause means a lot of heat is getting degenerated, and then she's indulging in a lot of sun salutations. That means sun salutation increases the heat in the system, right? So it is like she's on fire, already on fire, and on top of that she's practicing sun salutation. She will be on top of that fire on fire, right? So this is very important, right? So what kind of yoga should I be practicing is also important. So if somebody is going through menopause, I would rather recommend which is very cooling, and shitakari kind of pranayama, and very relaxing restorative kind of yogasanas to be done, rather than going for a hot yoga thing and all. So it is very important. So we should not follow the trend. We should always go to the authentic source to get cured or get the results and benefits. So that is very important with Ayurveda and also with yoga. And we have seen a lot of researchers coming out, that how the yoga is helping in increasing the relaxation response in the body, and there are a lot of good chemicals in the brain. So when we are indulging in meditation, when we are doing pranayama, the right kind of yogasanas, our brain makes a lot of good chemicals like serotonin, dopamine, anandamide, and all these good chemicals, and this relaxation response starts healing our body. It gives signals to our thyroid to work properly, adrenals to work properly, and good chemicals, and we will have a good feeling. So this is also very important, emotional and physical health through therapeutic yoga. So yoga can only be therapeutic if you are learning it under a expert of that field.
That's good. No, I think a lot of people, a lot of us, don't understand between difference, what you're saying, yoga and yoga therapy, right? So, and that's what we are trying to bring out. I mean, all of us love, at least in the United States, you pick your Lululemon and you go and you take your mat and you kind of going and hanging out. It's more like a hanging out session, right? The yoga session. But yoga therapy is very, very different. So that's what we're trying to incorporate here. how can Ayurveda and therapeutic yoga or yoga therapy can help you manage your conditions, medical conditions, also day-to-day health. That's optimal health. That's what we're trying to say here. Thank you so much, Dr. Aparna. Anything else you'd like to summarize or say in for the wrapping up before we wrap up today?
So I would always suggest that if you have any physical physical illness or any psychological issues, always see for the alternative therapies and Ayurveda, and go to an
Mhm.
expert in that field and talk to them, and they will let you know whether it is possible to heal through that science, right? And if it is not working out, then you have the other system where you can always go and take those treatments. So I have treated so many patients with anxiety and those ALS and Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis, and they feel a lot of better with Ayurvedic medicines. And in some conditions like diabetes and obesity, I incorporate, I let them take those medicines also, but incorporate the Ayurvedic elements, and slowly their body will start realizing the natural intelligence. It will trigger the natural healing intelligence back, and then slowly they can wean off the allopathic medicines or the Western medicine. So it's very important to get in touch with an Ayurvedic doctor, know your body type and know the imbalance which you have in your system, if you have any, and then start eating right and start indulging in the right kind of yoga and pranayam, and a little bit of self-care and self-discipline will definitely be really helpful if you are looking for a good fruitful and healthy and successful life.
That's beautifully said, beautifully said. And that's what it is. Understand, Ayurveda is a personalized system, and so is your body. How we look outside, we all look different, right? And our body is also unique in our way, and we don't understand. We always go for, oh, let me go run for South Beach diet or what XYZ or hot power yoga is hot. But understand your body, and that's what Dr. Parna is talking about: is understand yourself, understand your body, and personalize your needs according to personalized science, Ayurveda, and therapeutic yoga. With that, we'd like to wrap up this session. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Parna, for being with us. Amazing, amazing session. Really, truly a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Amitaji. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.